Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Football Manager 2024 experiment. And today we're going to be seeing what happens if you make it so when someone wins a game, they get less points than if they lose a game. This should theoretically flip the Premier League and the entirety of English football on its head completely and get some new winners because the past few years have been completely dominated by Man City. First, we're going to jump a year ahead just to get a general idea of how this will look, and then we're going to go forwards through to 60 years into the future because I accidentally left this running a lot longer than I planned. So, as we can see, Sheffield United are our Premier League champions in the first year with 158 points, which may seem weird, but the minimum points you can give a win on FM is 2, so I've had to give 5 points for a loss, 3 for a draw. And yeah, we've got Manchester City, Liverpool, and Newcastle all relegated in the first year. If you take a look at the Championship, we've now got Millwall, which is odd, and Sunderland both coming up. Um, no idea what's going on with Sheffield Wednesday up in fourth, or Norwich for that matter, but they'll be heading to the Premier League. In League One, we've got Northampton, Exeter, Cheltenham all coming up with Reading, Derby, Bolton, and Charlton going down. League Two, we've got Crawley, Accrington, Harrogate, and Colchester getting promoted, with Wrexham and Stockport going down. Kidderminster and Bromley both heading up from the National League. National League North, Rushall Olympic, and Brackley Town, with Taunton and Averley heading up. So that should give a general idea of how the experiment works. We're now going to head 10 years into the future to see who's won the league since, as if there's any Premier League clubs still in the Premier League. So we're now 10 years into the future, and the season after we left off, Millwall were champions with Sunderland also getting Champions League football. Chelsea got the Conference League, but Tottenham, Arsenal, and Man United all going down. Season after, Cheltenham won the league. Then Northampton, Kidderminster, Rushall, Kingstonian, Hendon, Peterborough Sports, and Grimsby in our most recent season. So the interesting thing to notice is that there's a lot less European places for the teams, which yeah, England have dropped in competition reputation down to 7th below the Portuguese league. And so if you look at where we are most recently with Peterborough, um, the I mean all the leagues are going to look slightly different, not massively, but Royston, Hungerford, Spennymoor all coming up while other teams drop down the leagues. Um, I mean, it still looks pretty much like League One, League Two, but we're going to start seeing teams like Radcliffe and Billericay come up, win, and we've got 10 different winners in the past 10 seasons of the Premiership. Um, Interesting to see if any team is going to win it twice in a row, and how long it's going to take teams to start getting relegated out after they build on their previous finishes. Um, Teams being chosen because they had the same records. I can't set the goal difference to be negative to sort teams, so I had to set goals against to sort them. Um, we've got a lot less European places. If you take a look at the Conference League, has any team come close to winning that? Actually, we had Wolves, Crystal Palace all winning it for a bit. Then we had Northampton and Sunderland come runners up. However, Northampton are now back in League One. So if you look at the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, lots of different winners coming in. Kidderminster, that's how Northampton would have qualified and come runner up there. How did Kidderminster do there? Actually still in the Premier League, which is surprising. But they're also spending money, which means they'll probably get relegated soon. If you look at the season preview for this year, yeah, Kidderminster are meant to come second, which means they'll probably go down. Funnily enough, Burnley still hanging on on in the Premier League. They've been shit enough over the past 10 years to somehow stay up, look at that overview. Yeah, they've not even actually come close to relegation. I mean, they've come like 15th, but never gone down. I'll be interested to see how long they stay around for. Obviously, 60 years into the future, I doubt they'll be shit forever, but um, yeah, Premier League looks very weird. The Championship, it's looking less championshipy, but definitely, I mean, there's a lot of Championship clubs still knocking about. If we take a look at someone like a Swansea, they've been here the entire time, just kind of bumbling around mid-table. But as the leagues get weaker, I'm sure they'll eventually drop off. If we take a look at the previous season, the team that went down in the Premier League, which should taunt him with the strongest squad, it's actually, wow, that's a really terrible squad. 148 current ability, that's probably about, like, just about survival in the Premiership in a normal year. Maybe a bit higher, probably not European football though, let alone winning it. If you take a look at a team like Manchester City, if they ever come back into the game, Man United have actually stayed in the game, which is surprising. Where are they? In the National League South. They just got promoted this season. Yeah, they dropped. Actually, they survived in 23rd place last season. Should have got relegated, I think. No idea. They. Sorry, that means they have just got promoted back up. But be interesting to see if any Premier League clubs manage to bounce back to the Premier League just by being terrible. Take a look at the likes of Manchester City now. You can't even find them really in the database because their reputation's just dropped that much. But if you look at club details, yeah, no reputation. Still 500 million quid in the bank, no idea how. Look at their squad. For that level, still an extremely good squad, but I find it very unlikely that they'll make a bounce back. News, we're now going to jump 60 years into the future and we'll see what's happened. So we're now 60 years into the future in 2083 and the Premier League does not look like the Premier League. In fact, there's only one Football League side in the Premier League, which is Bradford. Which Bradford being terrible and losing every game for the past 60 years makes me pretty happy, but they've recently just come up from League 2 and bounced straight up to the Premier League. Came second. But this year, Swindon Supermarine, not even the original Swindon club, have won the Premier League, having won twice and lost 25, would have been on 13 points. The Premier League's now only getting 2 European places, with Swindon getting Champions League, Hastings Europa League, and Merstham getting. There's 4 qualification points for England because there's a Conference League in Curzon Ashton as well. Look at where teams are going into Europe though. League won it last year, so if you take a look at this, they went into the Champions League, got their second qualifying round is where they're all heading into the Champions League. So if you take a look and look for any significant clubs from the Premier League, yeah, no one in the Championship. You've got in League One, Bristol City, Fleetwood. They're all just teams that have come up from the depths of football over the last 60 years, though. West Brom in there. Has any Premier League clubs in the? Yeah, I'm not seeing any. unless I've missed something. Wigan just getting promoted again. Not seeing. Yeah. Oh, Burnley in the National League North. Where have they been? Oh shit. Yeah, 82-83. They finished in third place. National League South. We've got absolutely nobody. If we take a look at the previous winners, has anyone managed to win it twice in a row? With England being all the way down here. Actually, 25th in competition reputation now. Take a look at the previous winners. Yeah, it's just different teams every year for the past 60 years. Actually, Hazen-Yeading in there with 2, Fylde with 2, and there is Billericay with 2. Which means the Premier League should now be the most interesting league in the world, as nobody's won it more than twice in 60 years. Have any teams won it like 100 years apart? Not 100 years, but a couple of years apart. Not from what I can see. We take a look at the Conference League. Has there been any English finalists? There is absolutely nobody from what I can see. I mean, when was the last time I probably wouldn't even realise if there was an English team, because it's just random teams from the middle of nowhere that are now going into the Premier League. I'm not seeing any English winners in since Kidderminster in 33-34. You've got, yeah, so if you look at the Europa League maybe, Championship team might win it, come runner up. From what I can see, I'm not even going to check the Champions League. Most of the teams are probably just getting knocked out in qualifying rounds. So if we take a look at the Championship now, God, there's some weird teams in here. The past 100 years of English football has been completely turned on its head. If we look, God, the FA Cup isn't even on the list, so I'm gonna just have to drop that down. There we go. Salford with 2 back-to-back, but just seems to be different teams every year since the general Big Six fell out of football. We've got, yeah, just random. That'd be the Carabao Cup. Salford also with 2 back-to-back. Yeah, and just again nonsense teams started dropping out of the league. We've got, okay, so what else is there to look at? Yeah, I'm just going to take a quick look at the Premier League records. Listen, there we go. Just take a look at records in the league. Most points in a season is Rushall with 118, 28-29. Let's take a look at that year. 28-29. Yeah, Rushall would have had 8 points with 2 wins and 2 draws, which is still surprising, but yeah, 2 wins, 2 draws, terrible season, won the league. The fewest wins in the season, Fylde in 68-69. Did they win the league? Yes, they did win the league. God, 11 points, 11 draws. That's miserable. What's the lowest attendance? That's just still a real record. Honestly, kind of surprised there's not been a team with lower than 3,000 fans. And most matches without scoring, Peterborough Sports in 32-33. Oh, sorry. 31-32 in this case. Yeah, Peterborough, but they just stomped the league by 5 points actually. Um, so really, what it just does is completely randomize who comes up and wins the Premier League. It drops the Premier League's competition reputation down to 25th. If you look at, is there a way to view the history of the competition reputation? God, history. Look at what transfers are actually going for. We've got the highest fee being £27 million, which is pretty surprising that they're still earning that much money. Season tickets, Blythe have actually sold the most, I think. Oh no, Hastings have sold 20,000 season tickets. How long have they been around? Oh, they've been in the Premier League for a long time, that's why. They've been around the Championship, won a couple cups. Yeah, Hastings, Hastings are the biggest club in the Premier League. 15,000 at home. I don't even know how that's possible. It's because it's a cup game. Yeah, generally at home, 20,000 people, which is pretty mental for a club that. Where did they play? Competitions. Oh God, where do they play in real life? No, they would be in the Isthmian Premier before getting promoted in 37-38. So that's all there probably is to look at in this database of interest. If there's anything I missed, leave a comment and let me know. See you next time.